Being a lifelong Michigander, Governor Snyder has a vested interest in the sport of fishing. And for him, it all began at a very young age.
My dad gave me, I don't know if it's really right or not, but that's how you start back in the old days. Is I didn't even have a reel. It was the old rod that you had the metal bracket, and you had to take the line and wrap it around, and used to go out and catch some bluegills, so that's how I got started. And I loved it from that day on.
So how is the fishing in this state?
Fishing's great in this state. We're very proud of it. Again, we're actually lucky. I think we probably have more species of fish than any other place in the country in terms of different kinds of fishing you can do. Everything from going on the Great Lakes to get salmon, big salmon, to beyond the inland lakes and catching bass or walleye or pan fishing. And it works well in all seasons. Ice fishing is a big deal in our state. So it's something that we all enjoy, and we're very fortunate. So I view it as you can shop any way you want here for whatever kind of fishing, and you're going to have a good experience, and you're going to find a lot of fellow fishermen that want to hang out with you.
We take very good care of our fisheries, not only through habitat management and research projects and other management activities, but also through our stocking efforts, which creates additional opportunities. And we also work really hard on access opportunities, such as Free Fishing Weekend that we're celebrating today and tomorrow, or things like our family-friendly fishing waters, where we provide more opportunities for people to go fishing, especially those who may have never gone before or who haven't gone in a long time.
Has the fishing always been good in Michigan?
Well, we went through some rough times. If you go back several decades ago, we had a lot of pollution issues in the Great Lakes, some major problems there, and it decimated things. And we still have challenges we got to look out for, the invasives like Asian carp in the Great Lakes. And then there are issues like European milfoil that can clog up some of the inland lakes that we need to deal with. But overall, we're doing great fishing in the state.
In your tenure as governor, what have you done to date to better outdoor pursuits, and what are your future plans?
Well, I believe we've done a lot, but there's more to be done. And what we've done is we've invested a lot in the Department of Natural Resources in terms of increasing resources, in terms of more research, in terms of more protection. We've added a lot of conservation officers that are, again, there to help the public. And we've planted a lot of fish, doing a lot of good things going on. And we're doing it both on the inland lake level, and then we're trying to do a lot through the Council of Great Lakes Governors to actually work with our neighboring states and the provinces to say how we can do great things with the Great Lakes themselves.
The governor is prioritizing the management of natural resources and financially looking to support the work of the Department of Natural Resources is very comforting and encouraging. I mean, we work really hard to be able to create these world-class resources. I shouldn't say create, but to be able to manage and facilitate the use of these world-class resources. But we need more help financially in order to do it. We're only able to do so much. And luckily, our license restructure, which just went into effect in March, is going to be very helpful in helping us get over some of those hurdles that things we're not able to invest in currently. Hopefully with additional revenue from the license restructure, we'll be able to do more and more.
Was it a mandate that you had was to make things better? And why did you feel like you had to if that was the case?
Yeah, well, we need to make things better in our state in almost every area. I mean, to be open with you, Michigan was a pretty broken state last decade. We didn't have just a bad 2 or 3 years like many other places. We had a bad decade. Right. And we were at 50 out of 50 in many things. So the whole issue is don't complain about it, go solve it. Absolutely. I call it relentless positive action. So we had a lot of problems to solve, and we've just systematically been taking them on. And a big part of that is if you want great quality of life, which leads to a strong economy, fishing is a key part of that. So we needed to make the right investments, and it's a legacy thing for the long term too. So it's for our kids and our kids' kids.
The economics in Michigan for fishing are outstanding. I don't think people realize how valuable the sport of fishing is to our state. It brings in nearly $4.4 billion in economic activity. Not only that, Michigan, as far as the economics of sport fishing in our state, we're ranked 3rd in the country as far as fishing expenditures, only behind Florida and New York. So when you put that into perspective, it's really critical. This sport, I should say, is very critical to the state and what it means for our overall well-being.
All of this is for one reason: keeping Michiganders fishing, and more importantly, bringing tourism to the state so people can experience all that Michigan has to offer.
Pure Michigan is our marketing campaign, and we've won awards for having the best tourism campaign in the country. Funny story is, when I became governor, I told them, I said, you guys aren't doing enough for fishing. They do golf courses, they do all these scenery things. They said, where are the fish? We fish and hunt in this state, and we love to do it. So they actually went and did some pilots, and the funny part is they got better results showing fishing than anything else they had done.
It's really become somewhat of a brand for the state of Michigan. People recognize it, recognize what it's about, recognize all that Michigan has to offer.
Pure Michigan is a campaign designed to attract out-of-state visitors, to inform in-state visitors of what we have available for natural resources in Michigan. We have a very dedicated campaign towards fishing and hunting through the Pure Michigan sector, and it's really doing great things to bring people to the state, to let them know what we have available, because our resources are truly world-class.
Got some real pull.
Since Governor Snyder's taken over as governor in Michigan, there's been great things that have been happening in natural resource management and in fisheries management and throughout the DNR. We've received an increase in funding support through a license package that was passed this past year, and we hadn't had a license package increase in 17 years. We now have funds that are available to allow us to do the things that we've been wanting to do, that we've strategically planned to do for a number of years, and now those projects are now coming to fruition because of his leadership.
I think that our governor realizes the link between natural resources and the economy and quality of life for the citizens of Michigan. And that's very, very encouraging to see.
They all tie together, because if you think about it and you want to have a strong economy, people want great quality of life. And one of the things that people really enjoy is fishing. So people want to live in a place where they can go fish. So if you want that, you have to invest in your environment to do that the right way. Now, if you have a good environment to do that right, you need a strong economy, because where do you get the money and the resources to invest in the environment? Right. So it's one cycle that really feeds one another in a positive, constructive way. And so I very much believe in that, and that's why it was important to invest.